Hey guys, let me, it didn't recognize my face from far away. That's interesting. Hopefully we're live in all the places where we're supposed to be. How are you guys doing this evening? Hey, hey, I'm shiny. You can always tell when I've been running around right before the live because I'm all shiny when I come on. Although I'm a little worn out more than anything today, which is ridiculous. But it is. If you guys can just say hello and let us know that you can hear us and see us, that will be awesome so that we can know we're in the right place. I'm connected to YouTube, connected to Facebook. Hey, Ron. Oh,
You are.
why does that cooler sound so loud tonight? Is it just me?
I can barely hear you.
You can barely hear me? What would you want me to jack up the sound on here?
What channel are you on your mic?
01.
All right.
Is there a volume on my thing? There isn't. I'm on channel 1. Can you guys hear loud? You want to turn it off or you think you'll get hot?
I don't know. It's up to you. Try.
We can try. Broadband communication error transmission failed. Oh, lovely. Let's try to recover and see what happens.
Yeah, it just stopped on both devices.
Okay. I pushed recover, so we'll see what happens.
You really sound far away.
You want me to jack up the volume on here? Or you want to change mics?
No. It's like it's not connecting at all.
I'm sorry, you guys. We're having... Am I okay now? Can hear you. They said they can hear me.
It is.
Keep losing services. I know. I'm getting like a weird light over here. Like our Wi-Fi is struggling, which would be so jacked up because I'm not prepared.
See if that helps.
Okay. And I am turned on because I can see my channel. And I'll unplug and replug. My sound man is checking everything. Everybody says it sounds good, but they can hear me fine. I can hear you. It's good now. Oh, good.
Is that better for everybody?
Yeah, everybody's saying that they can hear now. So.
All right. Yeah, it was. There we go. I can hear you now.
Okay. I bet you it was the Wi-Fi, right? Because it's kind of the same system that we're working on.
I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was picking up. It can hear me too. Yeah, I don't know if it was picking up the air conditioner. I don't know if it just wasn't plugged in enough because I had the cord in, but I reversed it just to be safe.
What the problem is? We don't know what the problem is.
I don't know. I wish I knew.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chattin and Crafting with Royce and Dave. If you are new, my name is Royce Hunt Bell. I am the founder, owner, and operator of Royce Cycle Treasure. And behind the camera, you can hear my husband, David Bell. And on Sunday nights, we do a lot of chit-chatting and a lot of crafting. So, although David's a little under the weather, so we'll see.
David ain't the only one.
I know. I have my cough drops in case I start coughing, and I have my hot tea. So.
Yeah. Did you tell everybody, because your class has started?
Yes, I did not. I tell them whatever you heard me say right now. That's what I told them.
Okay.
Being a smart ass.
So.
The class has started, but people can still join. We're taking registrants up until Thursday because we've had the first class. But the first class is like a basic course, which you can watch the replay if you've missed that one. But you won't be behind if you come into the course by Thursday.
Was it #Deco?
Yes. #Deco. If you want information on the decoupage masterclass that we've already started. I put up a post. You guys are so awesome. I put up a post inside the course for everybody to introduce themselves because I told them that you tell all my business. So I wanted to know some of their business. And I have like 75 people that did like these awesome introductions. So I've only had a chance to read through like 10, but I'm going to read every single one and I'm going to comment on every single one. I'm excited. The community is my favorite part of doing these classes. So, anyways, are you up to saying hi to everybody, babe, or no?
I am. We'll see how
I know I
long
kind of jumped in, didn't I?
No, it's okay. It was all. The sound was. That was weird.
It was discombobulated.
Well, we were off last week, and I think that was
Yeah.
right. It was last week. Yes, because you were flying.
Because
so
I
that's
was
why.
in Colorado.
That's right. So on YouTube, we have Kim Lamar, Natalie Sparks, Teresa Cathy, Redeemed, Judith Gramillion, Vicky Moore, Mariah Warner from Massachusetts, Paige Nicole Komar, Sheila Teagan, and Flea Brown from Santa Barbara. Ken is watching with her.
If you guys are on TikTok and you want to watch more comfortably, we are on Facebook and on YouTube on Royce Cycle Treasures.
And Paige says, just got all the fabric to make my entire family stockings, so can't wait to see this.
Oh.
And on Facebook, on YouTube, by the way, if you're on YouTube, we certainly would like it if you would like this, hit the heart or whatever. You could hit a smiley face or a 100 or whatever you would like. But the important thing is subscribe, and you can hit the bell. That'll get you notifications. You can either be notified for everything Royce does on YouTube, or you could select certain things. It's up to you. But it really does help the page.
Yes, thank you.
So, and the more you help the page, the more that everybody gets to see more things. So on Facebook, we have Jane Neese from Chile, Wisconsin, Jill Gomez-Haley from Ocala, Florida, Christy Wittenberg, who says this is great dinner entertainment. Oh, your threshold is so low. Paige Komar is over on Facebook again. She said, I'm excited to see this as I just got a drop cloth and bleached it, plus burlap and red cotton fabric to make my entire family stockings using my stamps. Jenny Marmion, Memory Williams from Amarillo, Texas, Barbara Garrels, Lisa Vansil, Carmen. Hi, Carmen. I needed to say hello before I go back to bed.
I know. I'm sorry, Carmen. I hope
Carmen
you're
feeling it too?
Yeah, there's about 10 of us.
Oh, I'm sorry, Carmen. Nancy Jiguer LaSalle. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Jiguere. Janet Taylor Borgers, Callie Madere, Kathy Doucette, Lisa Vansel, Jan Kilborn, Tommy Kiddos, Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, let's see, Jill Worth. Carmen says she already misses you.
Hey, Miss Coco. I'm going to show pictures, Carmen. I have pictures. I didn't take any of them. I stole other people's pictures.
Callie says Dave's voice sounds different. Yes, it does. This is Dave's sick voice.
Yeah.
Angie Champagne, Flea Brown, Deborah Campo, Celestine Todd. Let's see. It's Mammo Month. Hope you all participate who should. That's Lisa Vansel saying mammograms. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I got to go get smushed.
Jane Edwards from the UK. Pamela Culpadare from East Tennessee. Lord knows we don't want to say West Tennessee. I guess that's a thing. I don't know Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Marty Hardy. Well, we say southeastern Arizona.
We do.
Because we don't want to be lumped in with those Phoenix people. By the way, everybody outside of Arizona thinks everywhere that is in Arizona is right next to Phoenix.
They do.
I get press releases all the time. We're having a special event on Thursday. Oh, really? Where? It's on Bell Road in Phoenix. Okay, I'm 3 hours away. I'm not going.
It's on Bell Road. That's 4 hours.
Yeah.
That's on the other side of the valley.
Liz Clark from Pennsylvania. Let's see. Alyssa Bricker Visithin. Stephanie Devine. Kathy Tegardine. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Patty Hogan. Pampo Tony Baguette. Let's see. Angie said, turn on the air. We can see. We'll hear through the sound. It's not horrible here. Royce
No,
was just
I'm
up running
okay.
around.
I was up running around.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's hot in here. It's me.
They see you fanning.
I know.
And
It's
that's,
just
yeah.
me. And a part of it is because so I have been, and some of you, those of you who are in the course, you guys already know, but I've been battling COVID this week. Nothing like life-threatening, just really uncomfortable, right?
That's
Muscle
what,
cramps, just ridiculousness. So I actually feel, today I feel better than I felt all week.
I'm just checking to see if I have a mute button.
Oh, in
And
case I start coughing?
No, in case I start coughing.
Oh, okay.
So
I was going to ask you about that when we were doing the sound check because I had to use my mute button.
I do.
I have it.
Oh no, I muted you.
Oh,
So
muted you?
yeah. So if you get a cough, just like give me the high sign.
Okay, I'll give you the high sign if I start coughing.
Yeah. All right.
So my voice is about 2 octaves lower than usual, it feels like. And yours, David's voice is already deep enough. And then when he's not feeling well, it's really deep. Wow. Hey, Kimberly.
I do not hear my voices deep in any way. I know we've had this conversation before. Everybody thinks everybody hears their voice deeper than it actually is. Mm-hmm. So when they hear themselves, they're like, "Ooh, that's weird." I only hear treble in my head. I don't hear any bass.
Oh, well.
This is the only time I do because I can actually feel the vibration.
Yeah, you got a lot of bass today, baby.
All right, just call me Barry White then.
So
Sheila Teagan, time to get those tatas squished.
It is.
You know what? I don't even have them, and that doesn't sound appealing.
I feel like there needs to be an incredibly smart woman who comes up with a better way. Just saying. It's
There's
not me, obviously.
We can MRI whole bodies. Why can't we MRI that one particular portion?
I don't know.
They're not squishing anything else.
I know. Men are getting squished.
Well, it's uncomfortable when they're checking for lumps.
I know, but I'm just saying.
But not like that.
Yeah. I found, okay, sorry. So let's get started because I'm actually prepared tonight. Sort of. I could be more prepared, but I'm prepared. Let me put you guys down on the table. We're going to be making stockings, but you guys know I don't do anything regular. So we're actually making wood stockings. Let me, oh, you know what? I'm going to pull this overhead. You guys, I'm in my jammy pants. Don't judge me.
And I forgot to mention on Facebook, if y'all would share as well as hit one of the emoticons. We don't care. You can even hit the angry face. We don't mind that one.
It's all engagement, right?
Yeah, that's the important thing. It really does help.
So I found this. I see all the crafters using their little turntables. So I found one at Goodwill for $2. You guys know that was a gonga deal nowadays. But these are stockings that I made really quickly, and I used 3 different papers, but I thought they coordinated really well together. So we're going to make some stockings together today using some blanks. And these are just some plywood, and we used some of David's socks to make the shapes. But I need to start getting my my backdrop set up for Christmas. And so I like to hang stockings every year. So I figured we could make some stockings together tonight. And I'm going to be using the new Neutral Christmas decoupage paper on at least one of the stockings. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do because I never know. But I really wanted to make something like soft and neutral. And these is like all the things I love, the typography and the script. And then, of course, we have animals on here as well. And so this is a master board because you really do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 distinct designs, but you can still kind of use it all together if you want.
Everybody said fine with the jammy pants, be comfortable.
I know. And then we're going to use the neutral ticking. And I also pulled out the ephemera collage. I thought that these married together really well and that they could make a really pretty nice soft Christmas. And for the cuffs of the sock, I thought we could cut out a piece of this drop cloth. And I pulled out the IOD Cozy stamp because one of the stamps is like a sweater pattern. And I thought that might be fun to stamp on the top of that. So that's what we're doing today. So hopefully you guys will hang out and we will get her done.
Oh, can I ask a quick question?
You can.
Because a lot of people on here have commented that you really have to go to those out of the way thrift stores to get deals. And I was not fast enough on your mute button. I'm
Oh, I
sorry.
didn't give you a
So that Goodwill really isn't the bargain place
it's not.
lately. Now I've noticed in my world, the comic book, action figure, collectibles world, sales are really down. Prices are really depressed. They were up high for a while because of Fed money coming in and everybody having a little bit extra disposable.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of believes that's the case. But sales are down. Do you think Goodwill is charging more
No.
because people don't have money?
They've been jacking the prices since during COVID.
Oh, were they?
We're like 2.5 years in now, them
Okay.
jacking the prices up.
I was just curious because it's contrary. Because, I mean, that was the place you went to find things
I know.
inexpensively because they were getting it donated.
I know.
Um,
That's why we have beef with them.
yeah. But the other world, sales are down.
Yeah,
So-
no, I just think that Goodwill, I don't know what happened. I think that they've realized that resellers and people like us were coming into store buying things, fixing it up and
Makers.
reselling it. Yeah. And so they're like, oh, we should charge more money, but we have to do a lot of work to the things. It's not like we're just like,
You're not taking it and turning it over.
and even a reseller, if I buy something as a reseller, I have to like research and figure things out and list it. There's still stuff that goes along with being able to ask for that list price. And so I just think it was kind of a misconception of what that looks like. And I'm trying to say they were greedy without saying it, but
All right. I was just curious because Dorothy Lage made a comment that was a fantastic score.
right, for
that
$2.99,
furniture.
I
Yeah.
know.
So, and thank you, Dorothy. We love Dorothy.
I know. Dorothy, I hope you're feeling better too.
So, and somebody else said, Sheila Teagan said insurance companies don't want to pay for MRIs. Insurance companies don't want to pay for anything.
I know. But if they had like a localized MRI instead of a mammogram, I don't know why that would be any more
I
expensive.
just feel for every young woman, every older woman.
Thank you. I was gonna say, why they gotta be young?
Well, because you're all younger than me. That has to go through that. You know, there's got to be better.
Yeah,
There just has to be better.
there's got to be a better way.
Because
Oh, man.
it's not like they're squishing my kidneys.
No,
They're not squishing my gallbladder.
nope.
So why do they got to squish that? That just feels. It feels dismissive.
It's what happens, baby, when things are run by.
You know, the argument that a woman goes in and says, "Hey, I'm not feeling right. Oh, it's just in your head."
Yeah.
No, it's not in your head. It's something's not right.
Yes.
I mean, it might be in your head if that's where it doesn't feel right. But it doesn't mean you're making it up.
Yes. I'm just going to do a quick coat of white. When I said I wasn't like wholly ready, this is what I meant. I could have had this done already, but we're chit-chatting and catching up anyways, so I think we'll be okay.
Scrap says workbook available. There is with the class, right?
There is. If you upgrade to VIP, then you get a workbook. And inside of the workbook are all the notes for the course. And they're like, I just had the workbook in my hand. What did I do with it? Yes, there's a workbook. So everyone gets notes and a supply list. But if you upgrade to VIP, you do get a full workbook, which I really try to make the workbook really nice. And it also includes a glossary in the back of all the terms that we're using in the class. And I have been in classes where they told me I was going to get worksheets, and what you got was like a slide, like from a presentation. That is not a worksheet. So I do real worksheet. You get notes and supply lists, and your workbook is a bona fide workbook, not just, I don't know.
Karen Dietrich Atterbury says, very true, the poor can't shop at Mission Mart. Suze Thrapp says, Goodwill has been getting pricey. Flea Brown says, Goodwill's always been expensive in Santa Barbara. Dorothy Lage, Goodwill sells Dollar Tree items at $1.99 or $2.99.
Right?
When I can get it new for $1.25. Lisa Mansell, this one I don't begrudge Goodwill on. Goodwill charges extra if we use a card too. There's a fee. And
Yeah, there's a fee when you use a card, so I understand that.
and
As a
yeah, most businesses bake that in, but theoretically, if you're selling at rock bottom prices, it's fair to charge extra for the card.
Yeah, because you get charged a minimum price for using the card. So if you're only spending $5, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but that can really eat into the profit margin fairly quickly, especially over a number of transactions.
Joanne Shaner Cotton, my Goodwill was charging $3 for a piece of foam board. Then there was a question about Lazy Susans, and Jenny Marmion did say you can make one. There's a small widget in there.
Yeah, there is a way to. You know what, Jenny? I even bought some of those widgets a few years ago because I had a class and we had wine barrel lids, and I made them available to everybody. Nobody wanted one.
Oh, Patty Hogan. Okay, now this one's reasonable. Dense breast tissue makes it difficult to read, but I do agree they should come up with a better way to do it. I didn't realize that tissue was denser than other parts of the body.
Me either.
So, okay, all right. I guess I still think with today's advancements, there's got to be a better way. Carmen Dahmer, I've had 7 surgeries for biopsies from mammograms, so now I quit having them.
I'm not sure that's the answer, Carmen.
Suze Thrapp, please send a message, a direct message or a Facebook Messenger. She says she cannot access the video class. So send a message.
You know what, Sue? I thought that my assistant Brenda had taken care of you already. I sent you the link, Sue, to the group for the class. I did message you yesterday with a link. You do have to request entrance into the class, and I know that Brenda does not work on Sundays, so she'll be letting people into the class tomorrow. And I'm not going to go do it because I'm not going to mess stuff up.
Sherry Benhart says Blue Cross Blue Shield in Iowa has what they call wellness checks, so at least mammograms are free. I think we do too.
Yeah.
They always were with the insurances I had.
Yes.
Karen Dietrich Atterbury, a sonogram is better than a mammogram. And Jenny Marmion says I usually have to have ultrasounds.
See?
I
That's what I'm saying. So how come they can't just start with that?
Yeah. Rita Burnett Laws, I understand the aggravation of having to pay an extra fee when you use a card. Because she said they made it sound so great that you could now use your card at Goodwill, but then there's a fee.
There's a fee because their credit card companies charge a fee for us to.
They don't care that they're a nonprofit.
No.
And
even if they give you a reduced rate, because sometimes some of the companies, depending on who it is, will give you a reduced rate, but they'll charge you like 50 cents plus like 2.5%, right? Which doesn't sound like a big deal, but if your item is $3, it's 50 cents right off the top plus the 2.5%. And so, everybody wants their cut.
Yeah. I mean, and Lord knows those banks are just almost on the edge of bankruptcy. We have to help them.
Yeah, I know.
Can you feel the sarcasm? Can you feel it?
Can you feel it? You're actually a little more chirpy than I thought you would be tonight.
That little nap there.
That little power nap.
Got an hour in. Actually made Royce scoot over. You were on my side of the bed.
I don't know.
You must have got up right away.
I lay down about 20 more minutes and then I got up. Because once I go to sleep, it takes me a while to get back to sleep because of the whole coughing thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to dry these really quickly, you guys, and then we're going to get to the decoupage. You guys want to hear about my trip to Colorado?
Ooh, this one's interesting first before we do that. Deborah Kowski Hatfield, I've tried to encourage my engineer friends to develop a table that the woman can lay face down for easier exam. My daughter is in a wheelchair and their only option is an ultrasound.
Oh.
I like that idea. I really do. You'd have to adjust for size though, right?
Yeah, I think that's the struggle too, right? Because if you're like a lot of women in my family, laying on your stomach flat on a table would just be just as uncomfortable.
Well, I assume you'd cut holes out.
Yeah, but then and then what?
I don't know.
I say because you still have to examine. I mean, you know what
Right.
I'm saying?
But if you're running an ultrasound, it's not. It would only be picking up that tissue, right?
Yeah.
If you ran it, if the ultrasound moved, because the table would block anything else, so it wouldn't pick up any other.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So that'll block you
It
from
would
having
only
to
pick up
absorb
the
any
tissue in the
other
breast.
radiation.
I don't know. I look. This is way out of my bailiwick. I
I
don't.
think we crafters can figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Eddie Hogan, speaking of banks near bankruptcy, have you watched the movie Shortfall? It's about the 2008 crash and all the bank abuses. Shortfall. I've seen The Big Short, if that's what you're referring to. I enjoyed that movie a great deal. It was surprisingly very good.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, because it was an unconventional storytelling technique.
Mm.
Basically told the story in 5 different ways.
Oh, I like those. If it's done well.
And it was done okay. It really was.
Oh,
Uh,
these even have holes pre-drilled in them.
One of the few
Nice.
times I like Steve Carell. I'm not the biggest. I'm
It
not
was just a little one.
yeah, I'm not the biggest Steve Carell fan. Um, I'm just not. He's got a style that just isn't for me, but I understand a lot of people like it. But I liked him in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a dramatic role. It wasn't a funny role. So, but I have not seen Shortfall. Ollie Ford, I want to hear about your trip to Colorado.
So, Carmen Dahmer, who may be still on from Carmen's Curiosity Shop. If you guys do not follow Carmen on YouTube, she is absolutely brilliant. I'm just saying. This woman thinks of things that I would just never imagine. And so I had the pleasure to be able to travel to Colorado. I think that she planned for 40, what we may have had a little bit over 40 creatives from all over, I'll say the North Americas, because we had, I think, 3 people from Canada there. And so this was the group of beautiful ladies I got to hang out with all week. And we got to eat good food and giggle and create and chit chat and share and all the things. It was so wonderful. My friends love me, and I know that they love me, but they do not get me. So it was nice to be in a room with like minded individuals who are all just as crazy as I am. And then I stayed at an Airbnb with this group of ladies here. Lexi took care of me, y'all, because I went on my trip with a very specific effort. I have an issue, y'all. I have control issues. If you ask my kids, that's what they call it. Generally, I find myself being in a position of control, and I'm just cut that way. So I was very deliberate this weekend about just going and not being in control of anything and not being the head of anything, but just going as Royce Lane Hunt to go and hang out and create in this absolutely gorgeous space, and to just fill my cup because none of us can pour off an empty cup. And so I'm so grateful for Miss Carmen. She was a wonderful hostess. Look at our boxes, you guys. Aren't they beautiful? And inside of that box was everything we needed for the entire weekend. It was so wonderful. I'm so grateful. So incredibly grateful. Thank you, Miss Carmen. And so we were there. We got there Thursday for meet and greet, and then Friday, Saturday for making. And then I had to make the trek back on Sunday because, well, David still has a day job, and I drug him away for 9 days to Vegas. So he couldn't take any more time off to come pick me up on Monday because we live 2 hours from the closest airport. So
Catherine Riggs says, my daughter in her 30s has had psoriatic arthritis. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Psoriatic arthritis since she was 16. She works full time. Even medication still has a lot of pain. She has a high pain tolerance, but because of the amount but still, she's in a significant amount of pain. Doctor said she was not in pain. She was depressed. See, that just drives me crazy.
yeah.
Heather McDonald, breast MRIs are done with a woman laying on her stomach, ladies dangling through a hole in the table.
Oh.
So that's cool. That's on YouTube. I wonder if that's because so many male doctors are my age or just a little bit younger. Those that are practicing, have their own practice. So 40s and up, because really you don't get to your own practice till your mid 30s at the earliest.
Yeah. Let's start with the
And
Christmas.
so many men are told, shake it off. You're okay. Get back out there. Rub some dirt on it. Let's go. And we're learning through sports that's not the case.
No.
There are serious repercussions to injury. So maybe they just think, I don't know. I don't know why we dismiss women like that. We shouldn't.
I don't know. I'm terrible. I remember being in the gym and like Jordan had fallen in a basketball game. And why does the gym always get quiet right when you're the one yelling? I'm like, you're okay. Shake it off. Get back up. And people are looking at me like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Carmen, I was so amazingly blessed to have Miss Royce come hang out with me. She's even better in person than online.
Aww. You're too sweet.
Karen Atterbury, that organized box is awesome.
Right?
Christy Wittenberg, I still remember in Savannah when I felt with one other of the group ahead of you when I fell. And the rest of you were the ones that noticed I was not with you. Did she fall or fall back?
Oh, she fell back because we were walking around in Savannah after dark, and I'm just being a mama bear. Like, where everybody at? I'm trying to account for everybody because I don't want to lose nobody. It's dark, We walking around.
Place.
Yes.
And Dorothy Lage says she needs a rendezvous with you.
Yes, Dorothy has my bag.
So, but let's wait till everybody feels better.
I know. Thank you so much, Dorothy, for bringing my bag back home. I know I turned off my executive function button and it just turned everything off. I left my shopping bag at the Airbnb. I left my travel bag at Carmen's.
Oh, is Lexi on here? I didn't see her.
I don't know, because Lexi's not feeling good either.
Yeah, somebody said hi to Lexi, so maybe she is
Maybe
here.
she
Hi,
is
Lexi.
here. Hi, Lexi.
I didn't see her. Yeah, Sue's
check on her tomorrow.
Sue's Thrap. Excuse me. Women have been dismissed for a long time. We've learned to become more vocal and stop the abuse. Good.
Yes.
100%. When you go to a physician, they should take what you say seriously. I don't care who you are.
Yes. Absolutely. And so while we were at Carmen's, I was like stealing ideas. Angela was her name, was one of Carmen's friends, and she's never met me before. Claudia, babe. Claudia was there helping, and her daughter, Vicky.
I like Claudia.
Yes.
I really like Claudia. She's such a nice lady.
She really is. Talk about executive function. She gets stuff done.
Yes, she does.
But Angela had never met me before, so I kept saying, "Ooh, that's a really good idea, ladies. Ooh, I really like that." And I could see her looking at me like she was trying to figure out if I was being like facetious. I was like, "No, I'm being serious because I'm planning an event in April, and I'm stealing ideas." So we finally got the venue, you guys. So the Royce Cycles retreat will be the last weekend in April. I'll have more information coming up soon. It will be here in Safford, Arizona. So, like I said, the closest airport is 2 hours away. But if you guys come, it'll be worth it, I promise.
And as I've learned, it's the same weekend as our spring festival.
Oh, yeah. So we have a spring festival, which includes wineries.
Yes, we get about a half a dozen wineries that come. And Dorothy, not Wilcox. So these are generally they're the wineries from up north. I think the only ones who comes from the Wilcox area is,
the one that has my wine, the Naughty
no,
Monkey.
they're not from Wilcox.
No, they're not from Wilcox, but they're one of the ones
they're
that
from
goes
the Northern
to
Arizona wineries.
Yeah.
It's the young couple.
The ones that are in the corner?
Yeah. So I can't think of it. They're barely in their 30s. Just really nice young couple. The young lady is the winemaker. The husband is kind of it's like us.
Oh.
He's out there shelling. She's making the wine. And like us, it's a white husband and a black wife.
Oh.
But really nice, very fun couple. I've got a chance to chat with them a few times. They're really, really neat. I think they're the only ones from the Wilcox region that comes
That comes up for the spring
for the spring
festival.
festival. So there'll be music, there'll be wine, there'll be food vendors, there'll be
Yes.
crafting with Royce. Um, Boy, that's you
It's
picked the
going to be
right
a
one.
packed weekend, and the film festival will be next door.
Oh yeah, that's right. The film
I
festival will
hope
be
they're
going on.
not
So
loud over there.
if anybody wants to watch something at night after you guys are done,
Yeah.
you could either go catch live music for free,
Yeah.
or you can watch some movies, independent movies, because it's an independent film festival.
Yes.
But they show the feature films in the evening, so not the short films.
So there'll be plenty to do while
Yeah.
you're here.
Very cool. And if anybody's interested, I have to promote. If you're interested in coming to Safford next weekend and you like dressing up for Halloween, we are sponsoring the convention that I organize. Arizona Fan Fest is sponsoring the costume contests at our Oktoberfest, which is this coming Friday.
Is it this week?
It's this week, this Friday.
Y'all, the weather gets decent around here, and everybody's got something going on.
Yeah.
Because I think every weekend until December,
We had
there's something.
We had 3 events going yesterday. I couldn't go to any of them. But our Oktoberfest is Friday night. And for adults, that's Oktoberfest is for adults.
Yes.
There's a cornhole tournament, which is like horseshoes, for those of you who don't know. And the cornhole tournament's got like a $2,000 first prize.
Really? Who's the sponsor on that?
I don't know. I think Kempton Chevrolet.
Oh, wow.
But it's a huge prize.
Look, I'm going to have to go practice some cornhole
I
going.
know. And then we're doing the costume contest. We have a $400 first prize and $100 for second. But that's for the adults. Then on Saturday is our Harvest Festival. That's all for kids. Everything is free. We're doing like gift card giveaways for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, to like Dairy Queen and McDonald's, that sort of thing. So any adult that wants $400 and you like to dress up, come to Safford on Friday. And if you like cornhole or your husband likes it, you can walk away with some real money.
The last cornhole tournament I was in, you guys, I thought my arm was going to fall off the next day.
I know.
I was like, oh, Lord.
Me and I teamed up. Another guy from the radio station teamed up for the first cornhole tournament. Just because we wanted to support. So our Oktoberfest is the employees of the city support our local United Way.
Yes.
Which Royce used to be on the board for, used to be the president for.
Yes.
And that money goes right back into our community. So this is their fundraiser for that.
Yeah.
So we and I teamed up and we won 2 games, but we lost all the rest.
Oh. Yeah, these
there are
guys
some
around
serious
here are
players.
serious about their cornhole, let me tell you. No, the one I played in was when Patty had it, remember? For the Children's Cancer charity at the college. And I felt like my arm was going to fall off the next day.
Yeah. All right, let me play catch up now.
And I know I'm going through sheets, you guys, but if you were doing like multiples, you know, you could use the same paper. I think I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to do the ticking. We'll see what happens. Because I have the ticking pulled out. But now I'm thinking maybe I'll do another one from the Christmas one. And I might use the ticking on one of my my sock cuffs.
Karen Dietrich Atterbury, years ago, my chiropractor diagnosed me with fibromyalgia. My medical doctor told me I was crazy, gave me pills.
Yeah.
Flea Brown, there is an additional challenge for some of us when we advocate for ourselves. We are labeled as the angry black woman.
Yep.
Or being difficult, super frustrating.
Yep.
Well, Royce is tired of this at this point. There was a comedian, he's since passed away, Patrice O'Neill, and he said, if you ever want to get anything done, you bring a black woman with you. And he did this, it was in his stand-up, and he was talking about how he dropped his phone in the toilet, he wanted a new one, and they wouldn't give him one, so he sicked his girlfriend on him, and he walked away with 5 phones, and he doesn't pay the bill anymore. Now that's funny, it's a joke. Tell him the real story, sweetheart.
See, what had happened was they tried to take advantage of my honey. He went down there to go get a phone, and that little girl told him that he was gonna have to pay like
It
what
was
was
over
it?
1,000.
Over $1,000 and all this stuff. I was like, what?
So Royce went with.
I
And what
did.
happened?
You walked out with a phone and a phone case, and we spent $30.
I will take an angry black woman any day, Flea.
I
Any
wasn't
day.
angry. I was just
No,
forward.
you were
She was
very,
like, is he buying the phone or are you buying the phone? He buying it.
she did try that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, is he buying the phone or are you? He is.
He is.
Ooh, that was the most cutting he is I've ever heard in my life. Sue's Thrap. My attitude toward doctors is I can fire you if I don't get answers.
Yes.
I want to respect the doctor, but the doctor has to earn my respect.
Yes.
Eddie Hogan. Honestly, I think medical personnel spend more time on the computer than actually look at their patients. Taking care of my 90-year-old mother's medical needs, I find the specialists are more empathetic and compassionate than the primaries.
You know what I found? Because I took care of my mom too. And what I discovered was when I started treating my mom's healthcare team, because you guys know how it is. We have a specialist for this and a specialist for that and a primary physician. So I started treating them like a team, and it really did shift the way they provided care for my mom. So if I went to Tucson, because we live in a rural area, so often we have to drive out of area to go see the specialist, I would actually ask for records to be sent back to the doctor's office, and I would call and ensure that they got them. So I started treating my primary care physician like he was the quarterback for my mom's team, I guess. And it really made a difference in the quality of care that my mom received. I had to be very active in that process. Dr. Wright had been mom's doctor forever, though, and he really did care for mom. But I just think sometimes they just have so many patients that it's easy for them. Um, and I always say the person that you want to endear in that doctor's office is the PA. Your doctor's PA, bring them cookies, bring them cards, make sure you call them by their first name because they're the doorkeepers and they're the ones who will make sure stuff gets taken care of, even more than the physician.
I knew Dorothy would know who they were. Ryan and Desiree Girth. It's Strive Vineyards. Yes. They have 3 beautiful daughters. He's the pharmacist at Wilcox Safeway. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that.
He's a pharmacist.
Yeah. Where is Safford, Arizona? Connie King asks.
Safford, Arizona is in it's in the southeastern Arizona. So we're, what, northwest of Tucson? Northeast? No.
We are south. No, we are barely northeast of Tucson.
Yeah.
It's just a little
I know,
dip.
just a little bit. And we're south
We're
west
southeast of Phoenix.
Phoenix. So we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. We're relatively close to the New Mexico border. We're about 40 minutes away from the New Mexico border, which in Arizona, 40 minutes is around the block.
Yeah. Well, because it's going to be a fast 40 minutes. It's not like it's going to be traffic and...
Yeah. It's just Arizona. Everything's far away from each other in Arizona.
I should have planned this out better because I could have used this piece if I hadn't whacked that off. So, and I don't even think I needed to whack that off like that. But maybe I'll make my cuff a little bigger. I think I'm going to cheat, you guys. I'm going to use this piece, and I'm going to just use my cuff to cover up that.
And Sue's Thrap says, very large contingent of Italians and friends who make wine every year. That I've heard of that. Because I had an Italian roommate in college. He's the godfather of my kids. He didn't, but a lot of his family did. Like to make wine.
Like to make wine?
Yeah.
If
Karen,
I tried to make wine, it'd probably be vinegar.
Yeah.
It would not be good. No bueno.
Karen Atterbury, I don't let doctors treat me that way now. I have a holistic chiropractor, holistic doctor. My MD was mad at me. I told him I need all 3. I need my chiropractor for body work, holistic doctor for intense blood work, and I need you for medicine and surgery. If you can't leave with that, I'll go to another doctor.
And honestly, so my last doctor's visit I went to, I actually saw her physically reset during our conversation because, you know, my blood pressure is elevated. It's not high, but it's elevated. But you don't want to leave it unchecked because it can lead to more things. And so they had given me some medicine. And so she's like, you're taking blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I'm not taking it. She's like, why not? I said, it's a diuretic. And so she's like, well, it's a blood pressure medication. I says, it's a diuretic that is meant to reduce the amount of fluid that I'm retaining on the premise that that will reduce my blood pressure. I said, but I have other natural things that I do that work, so I don't need to take that. And so she's like, okay. And so she just kind of reset, and we had discussions about some things, including my responsibility, right, for my health. So what are things that I can do in my diet and just in my daily routines as far as activity? Because I would rather have a doctor be honest with me about those things than to just give me a pill. So I got to get back to walking on my trail every morning, and I guess I got to reduce the number of carbs I'm eating. I don't think that's fair, by the way.
I don't think that's possible. Well, for me at least. Let's see who agreed. Angie Champagne, Sherry Benhart, Suze Thramp all say yes. Physician's assistants is the way to go.
Yeah, because, I mean, you guys know how it is. The doctors come in, but it's really the PA is the one who remembers who you are, and, you know, the one who's responsible for calling in your prescriptions and or calling the specialist to make your appointments. Like, they're the ones who are doing all the things.
So can I ask a quick question of the audience?
Of the audience?
If I may.
Sure.
We were talking about for your event next April.
Yes. I have been dreaming about what we're going to do. Sorry, I'm excited.
Well, you're focused on the nuts and bolts.
Yes.
I've been thinking about, well, what about lunch?
Okay.
So, and we talked about maybe catering a dinner or a lunch, you know.
Yes.
And for some reason, the live chat just disappeared on YouTube.
Oh.
Just
I hope I
disappeared.
didn't go off.
Oh, there it is. Boy, it just went out, and then it came back.
I'm just gonna put that. Because we're gonna put a cuff anyways.
I keep trying to convince Royce because Dorothy, excuse me, no, it wasn't Dorothy. It was Carmen. Mentioned that Safford has a great goat soap store, which it does.
It does.
We love Marcia's. She also said a lovely radio station. That's because we put Carmen on.
I know Carmen got to be on the radio when she came.
And yummy Mexican restaurant.
Yes.
Well, Royce's favorite happens not to be in the city of Safford.
I know.
Happens to be in Pima, and I said which is 2 towns over. Which, if you're in the east, that sounds like it's like 3 or 4 blocks. But oops, I turned you off and then turned you right back on, so you coughed in that mic.
I actually remembered to give you the signal.
You did. So I'm trying to convince her to see if Jesus will cater. He might.
He might. I'm gonna ask. The worst he can say is no.
Well, my question was this: does everybody have like a Hawaiian joint?
Oh, I'm gonna get quinoas for one of the days. Definitely.
That's that Hawaiian burger I heard so much about.
I don't even think they have burgers.
No,
there.
they don't. But I'm just quoting Pulp Fiction. That's Samuel L. Jackson. That is a tasty burger.
I'm going to use this one to guide. This is just like a random piece of something I have left in my workshop, you guys. But it's already been washed and ironed. I always wash my fabrics before I craft with them, because when they take them to the store, they put like a coating on there, a sizing, to help it not wrinkle and to help it stay clean. But it can also interfere with when you're, painting or stamping on them. So this has already been washed and ironed, so it's all set to go.
So we have a question on this. Paige Komar on YouTube.
Yes.
She decoupages paper onto her fabric stockings.
Yes.
Will it make them hard and crunchy?
Well, it depends on what you use. So whenever I do it, I like to use the fabric Mod Podge to do it on there. And maybe let's do one of ours. Let's do a one today.
And Brenda Osborne is watching. She's been watching for a while, but the first time catching it live.
Oh, hi, Brenda.
So very good. Thank you. Paige Comar, I'm the terrible Dr. Magnet of the century after my Ohio surgeon botched my second back surgery. It all went downhill from there. Jeannie Henrik says lunch is important.
It is.
So just
I agree.
Luann Vassallo, I have a great doctor who still has his own practice. No stopwatch involved when you see him.
Yeah.
Takes his time and listens. Paige, lose live chat all the time on YouTube. Yeah, weird. David has his priorities. Darn right. You guys craft all you want. I want to eat.
Don't encourage this man, y'all.
Let's see. Connie King, do you take berberine for elevated A1C?
I do not take anything. My A1C is not elevated, actually. It's just my my blood sugar wasn't high. It's just a little higher than she'd like to see it. It's kind of a prevention thing. But I've been really focused on eating more protein lately. Period. I don't even know if it's a term. I call it like protein stacking. So, like I'll make brown rice, but I'll put quinoa in my brown rice, which is a grain that has a lot of protein. And then I'll eat that with like an animal protein. So I've been kind of focused just on. I don't know, you guys. I can't take over the world if I'm sick.
Dorothy Lage walked to the end of the block and back today. That burnt us out. I was up to 3 miles a day.
Yeah.
It's the heat. You
Dorothy's
lose 4 or 5 months.
suffering like me too, though.
Yeah. No. I mean, but you can't walk in 100 when literally at 6 in the morning it's 100 degrees.
Yeah, but I mean, like seriously, when you like right now, for me, I'm gonna start walking tomorrow, and I'm gonna get to the end of the block by Dorothy Center and back.
Yeah.
Like it's because I've been sick for a week, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Angie Champagne says nurse practitioners also invaluable.
Yes.
No argument there. I always prefer a nurse to a doctor. Always. Because nurses actually listen. Christy Wittenberg, who I believe is coming to Arizona Fan Fest.
Yes.
I'm a chainmail artist. I'm even interested in the retreat. When I go to new places, I want to go to the local food places. That's our thing.
Yes.
We'd love that.
And that's what we did when we had our last retreat. My last retreat was just for retailers, though. So we actually went out to, I don't know, I told them ahead of time we were coming. They weren't really ready for us, though. But
where'd you go?
To Nick's place.
Oh, to Nick, yeah.
Yeah. The food was really good, though.
Carmen, Nick's is gone. Nick
Yeah.
had to close it.
They closed it, but there's another really good one in Pima, though. I'm gonna figure out. That's a good ratio, right, you guys? I'm eyeballing it.
Let's see. Liz Clark going through menopause. All the after effects are just frustrating. You feel like you'll never be healthy again.
Yeah.
Let's see. Patty Hogan, I respectfully disagree with PAs. We are virtually in a medical primary desert here in Western Massachusetts, so doctors are few and far between. We understand that.
We do.
Well, we don't.
We do, baby.
Specialists are tough here. But
even physicians.
we have, by virtue of having the hospital we have here, we're better than a lot of rural communities.
Okay. I won't disagree with that.
I mean,
but we still
could be
struggle with like getting a primary care physician.
Yes. Oh, it's a struggle.
Like I make sure I make my wellness visit every year so that I don't get taken off the rolls, because then I won't have a primary care physician.
Yeah, Patty Hogan said her late husband had a PA and totally missed serious health issues. I understand that. But they're gatekeepers. And that's really the key.
When I'm talking about the PA, I'm talking about the physician's assistant. So the physician's assistant is the one who's like, if the doctor says you need to go see a specialist, they're the ones who are calling to make the appointments. They're the ones that are calling the pharmacist with your prescriptions. They're the ones, like to me, they're like the ones that are taking care of all the details after the doctor has seen you. That's what I'm talking about.
Carmen says, did you know new fabric has formaldehyde? Oh, that's formaldehyde. Oh, I was going to say formaldehyd. Formaldehyde. I didn't know that's how you spelled it. Wow. No, I was not aware of that.
That's bad. They're supposed to take that out of all the old stuff.
Yeah,
right?
You're not supposed to have contact with formaldehyde. That's a problem with funeral workers. What do you call the people that prepare the body?
The embalmers?
Embalmers, yeah. It's a serious health risk.
Okay, you guys, I'm making the cuffs. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just kind of batching them. They don't have to be perfect, right? And I'm pulling strings because I want them to be kind of rustic looking. I don't want them to be all perfect.
Yeah, Patty, I feel bad. Yeah, there's nothing worse than missing it
Yeah.
when it's there. She said they went through the medical records and there were glaring warning signs.
Oh.
Yeah. Pamela Culpa, Dare nurses have more training than PAs. Oh, okay. Like I say, I just like who's the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think, yeah, because I know you're used to a nurse practitioner instead of a doctor. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one who's sitting there taking notes while your physician is in there with you.
right.
And they're the ones who are following up with the doctor's orders. So they're doing the thing. So like with my mom, they would be the ones that would schedule the MRI, you know. But the doctor would be the one that would actually be seeing my mom as the patient, you know, and giving the orders. But the PA is the one who's like doing it and following
Oh,
up.
here you go. Flea says not a physician's assistant, a medical assistant.
Oh, is that why I'm confusing everybody? I'm sorry. The MA.
Yeah, MAs take your blood pressure, call in prescriptions, reach out to specialists.
Yes. I'm
Thank you,
sorry.
Flea.
Yes, be best friend with your MA. That's who you want to be friends with because they're the ones who are doing all the things. They're the ones who get the messages to the physicians. They're the ones reminding the physicians of things that they need to do.
And when you need a quick appointment,
Yeah.
Hey, I know you guys are booked up. Is there any way you can squeeze me in? The MA can do it.
Yes.
Sheila Teagan asks, what fabric are you using?
This is just a drop cloth from Lowe's. It's just a piece. Oh, no, this is not. This is duck fabric. I'm lying to you. This is just a piece of duck fabric. Do not ask me the weight because I don't know. I bought it so long ago. I taught how to make, I don't even have one hanging in here, do I? We made those banners years ago, babe?
Yeah.
The ones where we painted and we put transfers on them. And so I think this was left over from that.
They were kind of vertical hanging, almost like, what did they call those back in the Middle Ages? The stuff that would hang in a castle.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, Patty Hogan. Bottom line, you have to ask questions, advocate for yourself, and for your loved ones.
Yep. And don't let a physician make you, because sometimes you'll ask a question and they make you feel like you're stupid. You didn't go to school for 20 years to be no physician. You're not supposed to know. Yeah. Don't let them. And if they explain it to you and you don't understand it, then you can ask them to explain it again because you did not understand what they said. And they should be able to articulate it in a way that you can actually understand what they're saying. And for me, I'm like, why? If anybody who's taken my classes, I know I probably crack you guys up because of the way I teach, because I always want to deconstruct things and talk about like why. So I'm not going to say you should do this. It's going to be like, this is the character of this thing. This is what it does. I may give you like a high level scientific reason for why it does that. And so that's why you do this, right? Because that's how my mind works. Somebody can't just tell me something. You have to tell me why. My mom used to hate it. Why you gotta be so analytical all the time?
Lisa Mansfield, thank you. Tapestries.
Yes. I should do that again. That was actually really fun.
Carmen, in the last 10 years, never seen my doctor, only my PA. Love her, but only do Zoom.
Oh, wow.
But Carmen's kind of out in the sticks, too, like
She
us,
is.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm using the Cozy stamp from IOD, you guys, and it has these super cute, like sweater.
Ian Ziegel has two things. Duck cloth. What is duck cloth? And the second thing is, love my doctor. He'll draw you pictures if you ask him.
Right? And that's what like Denzel Washington. What movie was that? Explain it to me like a kindergartner. I'm like Denzel.
Oh, wasn't that The Equalizer?
I don't remember what movie it was. I just remember that line when they were in court. Like, I don't have to feel smart, man. Explain it to me like a kindergarten if that means I'm going to understand what you're talking about.
Was that Philadelphia? Hey, Sheila Teagan, would drop cloth work as well?
Yes, as long as it's a tight knit. I have found that the drop cloth at Walmart, I mean, it'll work, right? It'll still work. But the tighter weave is going to be easier to stamp on. I think you're going to get the result that you prefer. The drop cloth at Walmart is like a really loose weave. The one at Lowe's is like really nice. And even the one at Home Depot, make sure it's not the one that has the plastic on the back.
And Paige Komar says you can distress the edges using a sanding block.
Ooh, I'm going to do that before I stamp it, Paige, because I got to pull out my sanding block anyways.
And Sue's Thrap just got me.
She got you.
Yeah, she said, "Tell me why." Now, here's why that got me. It's a Beatles song, and it's going to be in my head all night long.
You gotta tell me why. You can't just tell me to do something. But why?
She put the bug in my brain.
This is a brand new stamp, you guys, so I'm going to condition it. And the reason you do this is just so you can get a nice, cleaner stamp. You're just adding a little texture to the top of your surface of your stamp so it'll hold the ink better. This is a really high grit. It's like a 320 sanding paper. So I'm going one way, and then I'm going to go the other way. Baby.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Do you need another cough drop? You want me to go get you?
Nope, I have some right here.
Right.
Thank you, baby.
I'm
just talking a lot.
Too. That was a cough.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm talking a lot is what it is.
Yeah. Sharon Frey Milligan, it's important you have someone who has your back because as a patient, you may not be at your best.
Yes.
Healthcare workers are overworked, sometimes don't take the necessary time needed.
Yeah.
You know what? That's reasonable.
And they don't know you, too.
Yeah.
They're not with you every day. They're making decisions based on the information that they get in that few minutes.
And these are people, and people do get overworked and stressed, and we don't know what's going on in their office.
Yeah.
They may be dealing with that one coworker that made fish in the microwave, and now everybody's off.
That one coworker.
You know,
you said that like you have somebody in mind, baby.
I have been in those offices.
And not only that, but they don't know, right? Because I try to let my husband let me go with him to the doctor, but he said no, you guys. He wouldn't let me go.
I said I didn't need my mommy to come with me.
I was just going to be there as a second set of ears.
I just want to, I'll tell you what, if we don't get anything out, so I'm dealing with psoriasis out of nowhere.
Yes.
Which is irritating me. So I finally have an appointment with the dermatologist. Let me see what the dermatologist said. And my doctor said they won't let me prescribe an oral medication. They want specialists to do it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I have to go to the dermatologist. But he's like, I know what to give you.
But you have to go to the dermatologist.
But I have to go to the dermatologist.
I would have just felt better if he at least taken a culture before he diagnosed you. That's all I'm saying.
So I will go to the dermatologist, see if they take a culture. I will ask him to, or her. I have no idea who they are. And then see where we go from there.
You just brought up taking people with you. That's why I was just...
No, I didn't bring it up. I just said... I want a black woman with me when I need to return something.
Oh my gosh.
Paige Komar, I bleach my drop cloth by adding it to a full washer with half a bottle of bleach for 8 hours, then wash out twice. Second cycle with detergent.
Oh. I like that it has a little bit of color to it. I think it's going to be really pretty with the softness of this, but we're going to stamp it really quickly. What time is it? Oh, I'm on time.
We're 6 o'clock, 6:05.
I'm doing really good on time.
Started a little late. Suze, you don't have to apologize for the Beatles in my head. It's good. For some reason, I've had, it was the Rolling Stones off of Black and Blue. Daddy, You're a Fool, playing in my head for a long time.
So you just replaced it.
I just replaced it, which is fine by me. And before that, now it's my turn.
It's hot. I hate to turn the air on. But...
Okay. I thought I was going to sneeze. Sorry. Before that, I had.
It's okay, babe. I'm fine.
Sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I'm just having a flash.
I had Joe's Garage playing in my head from Frank Zappa, which I love. It's one of my favorite. I call it a rock opera. I don't know if Zappa ever did, but it's very profane. I want to stress that. It's Zappa. It's always profane. That's what Frank Zappa did. But it's also brilliant and avant-garde and orchestral, and I'd rather have Tell Me Why playing in my head right now. It's a nice, sweet little Beatles tune.
As opposed to that one?
As opposed to, I can't even name the songs.
Oh, don't do it, baby.
I'm not going to.
So because we're working with this really soft palette, you guys, I don't want to use a jet black ink. So I'm going to use a stone gray. So this is going to be pretty subtle. But I think it's going to be really nice. And I'm going to make sure and load up my stamps and make them really juicy, as we say, because I'm stamping fabric.
Well, that was weird.
What?
So Facebook just jumped all the comments for me to the very beginning, and I have none of the later comments. So because literally it's like Jenny Marmion saying, "Hi, good evening."
And honestly, I don't see any red comments. So did we jump off of Facebook?
Yeah, and the last thing I'm seeing is Flea Brown. No, it's still going.
Is it still going?
Is
Okay.
Flea saying there's an additional challenge for some of us when we advocate for ourselves, the angry black woman.
Yeah, that's from earlier.
That's from way earlier. I don't know what happened with
okay.
with
Now I
Facebook.
see more. Oh, no, I'm back to the beginning. I see what you said. I don't know. Hopefully we're still on Facebook. I just put down a piece of parchment paper so I don't make a mess. I'm trying to keep my table clean, y'all, because I have class Thursday night. And I don't have to come back in here and clean up from scratch all over again.
I
So
went
I'm
out
trying
and
to
went
be
back
neat.
in. I got new comments now.
Okay.
Yeah, Patty Hogan agree. Healthcare workers are overworked. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely. David, is that because of insurance? Is what because of insurance? I don't remember.
Oh,
what he
yeah.
said.
That they won't, that he can't write the prescription.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I assume it is. Yeah, Sue's, same thing happens to me. Yeah, it gets in your head. Lisa Vansel, Jumpin' Jack Flash, is in her head.
Oh, my goodness.
Which, by the way, great version by Aretha Franklin.
Yes, that's one I know of.
Oh, really? You don't know the original Stones version?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow. Aretha's one of the rare good covers. Yeah.
I hope that was straight, y'all. I don't know. We'll see.
Kathleen Hoovis, they say women get songs stuck in their head more than men. To get rid of it, you are supposed to listen to the whole song. I've always had that. Earworms, is that what they're called?
Earwig, I think.
No, earwigs are an actual bug. Earworms are, I think that's when you get something stuck in your head in the loop.
So, when I am stamping fabric, there's a couple of things. I hope this comes out. I try to make my stamp really juicy because the fabric is going to absorb a lot of the ink. Whenever I'm stamping anything, I like to let my stamp kind of chill for a little bit. In my holy imagination, my substrate is absorbing the ink and pulling it in. And once you get it down, you don't want to shift it because you want to have a clean stamp. So let's see. Ooh, I like it.
Carmen Daumer, you know you always need an advocate. Last month, my husband had a heart surgery. Nurse gave us the very bad prognosis for another patient. My husband's blood pressure went to 269. It was a mistake. Went outside with her and said she was wrong. You always need an advocate.
Yeah.
Susan Boehner, Whitmore Glazer. I hope it's Glazer. One of the reasons we moved to where we live in Texas to retire, just north of San Antonio, is because of the medical facilities here. This is a big area for military retirees. My primary physician is in my little town, New Braunfels. I've heard of that town. But I often have to go to San Antonio for specialists or surgery. As you get older, you find you need a different doctor for all your body parts.
I know.
And Sue's Thrap. Now she's hearing the Stones version of Jumpin' Jack Flash and the guitars. Yeah.
And so what do you guys think? That'll go cute with that, right? Just a little subtle pattern. I mean, you could theoretically needle point this if you wanted to. But y'all know I'm not going to do all that. So let's stamp out another one. This is actually kind of fun. This would be a fun class. And I have another sweater pattern. This one, you guys remember these sweaters, right?
Sheila Teagan, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's 25. Hashimoto's 25 years ago. I've been taking thyroid replacement since then. The doctor I have now is the first one to order the separate blood test for Hashimoto's.
Yeah.
I don't know what
to make
Hashimoto's
sure that
is.
that's what it is. It's funny because I'd never heard that before until recently. But basically, your body isn't producing the hormone. Your hormones drive everything.
Patty Jo Woodard is watching. I have to say, I met Patty's sister this week.
Oh.
Patty's sister lives in Pima. And she came up, introduced herself. She does listen to my show. Thank you, Patty, for turning your sister on to my show. And she was so nice. She said, you know what? If I ever come across comic books, I know who to call.
That's right.
Because Patty was so gracious last year. She helped me out, let me buy comic books at a dirt cheap price
Yeah.
that we gave away to kids at
Oh
our
yeah, it's a
Harvest
Harvest
Festival.
Fest. Yeah.
So we made a bunch of kids and even adults days.
So I was gonna say that it was funny because the kids were like, "Oh, cool," but the adults were more excited about the comic books than the kids were. I thought that was
Because we
funny.
gave them to everybody.
Yeah.
So Patty was couldn't have done it without Patty. That was so sweet of her. And it gave me a chance to take a run over to that was Lordsburg, right? I think it was
Yes.
Lordsburg, New Mexico. Yeah, Sue's Thrap. I'll be lucky to sleep tonight with the stones in my head. Hey, check out the new single. They've got a new album. It's the first album, I guess, in like 15 years. And they just did a single. The first single off of it, I didn't care for. Second one, Lady Gaga sings some backup on it, and Stevie Wonder's playing organ on it. And it's really good. It's really good. Now, I'm saying there's some black magic going on in the studio because Mick sounds like he's 30.
Oh, okay.
And Mick ain't 30. So they come on now.
Come on now.
But still, it's a really good song. Really good. I was not prepared to like it. And it's you know what? And
They
I
got
hate to
black
say this,
magic.
Gaga's the weakest part of it.
Oh, wow.
But I heard she talked about her experience. So she was in the recording studio in the same place that the Stones were. And they said, why don't you come, hang out with us? So they came. And they were noodling like they do, like musicians do, just kind of playing in the studio. And I guess they said, why don't you sit in on this?
Oh, so it wasn't like she was prepared to perform.
Right. And it wasn't okay, now we'll record the background vocals. Now we'll record the lead vocals. Now we'll do the bass. None of that.
Yeah.
They apparently did it all together, rehearsed it a few times. And you could tell she doesn't necessarily want to come in.
Yeah.
And I can just picture Nick saying, no, come on, it's time for you, waving her in.
Yeah. And she's like,
You could just hear the hesitancy in her voice. And Gaga's powerful. I mean,
yes, she has a very good voice.
So I was surprised that she's not the strong part there, but I get it based on what she talked about.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really good song. I recommend check it out. It's on YouTube. Yeah, Mick looks good for an octogenarian. I don't disagree with that. Marlene Mack, I remember, just say Mac. Do we need to heat set that?
You know what, Marlene? It's funny because I was just debating in my head whether or not I want to heat set it. So if I were going to wash this or something, I would definitely want to heat set it. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of glue I'm going to use because that's going to determine whether or not I want to heat set it. If I'm going to use just some hot glue, I don't necessarily need to because it will set over time. But if I'm going to be adding any kind of moisture to this, then I definitely want to heat set it. You were reading my mind, girl.
And Sharon Frey Milligan asks, how do you clean your brayer after you're finished?
I just use a green scrubby and some Dawn dishwashing liquid in the sink and just clean it. And you guys can see my brayer isn't wonderfully clean, so I mean I don't need it to be perfectly clean. I just clean a little bit of the excess off to make sure I don't have any transfer, when I'm doing my next project.
Paige Komar, my teenager just came in, sweating with a terrible fever.
Oh,
hope
I'm
it's
sorry,
not the big
Paige.
C. It is on the upswing right now.
It is.
I got our county's numbers; they're up.
Oh, they're up here too.
So, Joan Volkman, I bought that stamp set last year, but I haven't used it yet. Thanks for the motivation.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, Joan, I haven't really used it either. I was trying to think of what I could do to make like the cuff, and I just thought about it right before we came live. So I figured it would be fun.
Jeannie Henricks, I heard that San Antonio hospitals are the Walter Reed of the South. Very capable.
Oh.
That's cool to know.
That is.
Rosalie 01, the only specialist I don't have is a pediatrician. Sheila Teagan, yes, Stones have a new album. They do. And I want to say the new single is the title cut. I just don't remember the name of it. But it's, like I say, the song I heard is really, really good. First one, But I like their last album too, with Love Is Strong.
Yeah.
I think that was on the last album, and I
So
like that song.
just for the sake of demonstration, you guys, I'm going to set this with heat just so you guys can see. Like, it's super easy. I just have my little Cricut. You don't need a Cricut. If you have an iron, you can use it. I like to use mine dry without any steam. And I'm just going to iron over these really quickly. I have my Teflon sheet. I like the Teflon sheets because you can use them over and over again. But if you have parchment paper, you can use that too, just to put over your project to protect it. And I'm just going to put some heat on these really quickly as soon as my little Cricut beeps at me and tells me that it's ready. But in the meantime, let's trim these. Whenever I have, you guys see all that tension right there? If I go in sanding this, there's a chance that it may pull off the surface. So I'm just going to like snip it first to get rid of that tension, so that doesn't happen. So I can get a nice clean edge when I'm sanding this off. I should have got my emery board. That would have been faster.
All right, the new album is called Hackney Diamonds.
I think it's funny. I thought you were going to be quieter tonight because you weren't feeling well.
Oh, I'm feeling okay. I just sound terrible, and I wish I could. My sinuses would just open up. That's what's driving me crazy. Let's see. Let's see. Sweet Sounds of Heaven is the name of the song with Gaga and Stevie Wonder. And it really is quite good. Although I'll be honest, when I first heard the opening, I was like, ugh. I thought the Stones were gonna, because the Stones try things that don't necessarily work. I don't like their country tinged work.
They're experimenting. They're artists.
Well, yeah, but it's a bunch of Londoners. You know,
I know, but I mean,
East Enders trying to sound country, and it just doesn't. It doesn't work. You know, so I thought it was starting that way, but and I thought because Stevie Wonder was playing on it, they were going for a gospel kind of theme. But it really is good. It really is, and Mick sounds great. But I still say, somebody did something in there.
Somebody did some magic work with that mixing
There's some
board.
black magic.
So I'm just applying a little pressure and some heat, and that's going to set my ink so it doesn't run. So you guys can use the IOD ink on like cloth, and as long as you're sure that you set it, it should wash. You should be able to wash it.
Teresa Vitrino, quieter, and then a lot of laughing emojis. Yeah, Sweet Sound of Heaven is rock gospel. Yeah, I thought it was leaning that way, and it does get better. It does. Because the Stones can't do pure gospel. Not anymore. Maybe in their younger days they could have, but not today.
Maybe. You got to be able to sing to do gospel.
Thank you.
You cannot sing. You have to be able to sing.
Yes, exactly. So Susan Steinberg Prentice, Angry was the first single from Hackney Diamonds. I did not care for it. But Sweet Sound of Heaven, yes, I do like. So thank you, Susan.
And that's it, you guys. It is all set. I'll make sure I cut this puppy off because it gets hot. It's little and it's cute, but it's hot.
And I know I'm going to irritate.
Don't irritate people.
I have to, baby. I have to. It's
Look
got to
at
come out.
I have to, baby. Y'all hear him?
I'm not the biggest Rolling Stones fan. I don't mind them. But I'm not. I don't care what they say. They're not the world's greatest rock and roll band.
Oh, they say they're the world's greatest?
Yes, absolutely. They say that. That's their claim. I enjoy some of their songs. I enjoy a lot of their songs. The Mick Taylor albums that run may be the best run.
We're supposed to let other people tell you that you're the best. I mean, I used to be nicknamed the Decoupage Queen. I didn't ever give my name. I didn't give myself that nickname. Other people gave me that nickname.
Marvel Comics did the exact same thing with the Fantastic Four. They called it the world's greatest comic magazine. Even though Superman was outselling it like 20-1. But
He was trying to, what do you call it?
he's just hyping. It's just hyperbole. That's all.
Hyperbole.
You say it enough and people can start to believe it.
Baby, can you do me a big favor? This is going to drive me a little bit crazy. Never mind. Don't do it. It's okay.
All right.
Because the emery board is like under all that stuff.
Yeah, I got into a debate with somebody over the best 3-album stretch. Who had the best 3-album stretch? Was it the Stones?
Okay.
Well, with the Beatles, it would be Revolver, Sgt. Pepper, the White Album. Or would it be The Who, which was Tommy, Who's Next, Quadrophenia, or the Stones? And I'm trying to remember which the Stones 3 were. It was
What about
and Let It
Prince?
Bleed was in there. I'm trying to remember, but they were all the Mick Taylor album.
Oh, Lord, this is going to take me for an eternity. I'm going to get this thing. I'll be back, y'all.
All right, let me.
Oh, look, there's one right here.
There it is.
Good
See?
job.
I knew you could do it. All right, now I gotta find that 3. Which were they? Oh, here you go. Beggar's Banquet, Let It Bleed, Sticky Fingers. Or no, Let It Bleed, Sticky Fingers, Exile on Main Street. Who has the better 3-album run?
Who do you think?
I really, honestly, I think the Beatles. Although the Who is my favorite.
I remember discovering The Who in college. Isn't that going to be so cute, you guys? That is so cute. Sorry, I shouldn't be so happy about my own project, but...
Yeah.
And these could all hang on the same mantle, even though they're not exactly the same. They still complement each other.
Joan Volkman, I missed the beginning. Did you cut out the stockings and wood yourself, or did you buy it that way?
No, we cut these out probably, 2 years ago, babe? We cut them out of our scrap wood pile. We have some left, too. I have them listed on my site. Somebody ordered some 2 weeks ago, which is why I remembered them, because they were put away until somebody ordered them. I had to go get them out.
Let's see. Paige Comar, can you use a washable ink and seal it with water-based sealer, or does it need to be permanent ink?
Well, when you go to seal it with the water-based sealer, and when you say a washable ink, you mean like one that won't run? If it's an ink that won't run, you can seal it and you'll be fine. But if it's an ink that's gonna run, when you go to put the sealer on there, you risk it smearing all over your project.
Kathleen Lewis, will you be doing anything to the edges of the stockings?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I grunge them or should I leave them? I feel like everything looks nice and fresh, and oddly enough, because that's usually not my take on things, I'm kind of enjoying that. And so maybe I'll go around the edges with some white. What do you guys think?
Leon Ziegel, David, have you ever used a neti pot? No, I have not. I'm not.
He not going to do that.
Yeah,
He ain't going to do that. I'm going to tell you right now. I can't even get this man to drink a cup of tea. A neti pot? Oh my gosh. I would have to strap you down.
Yeah. Eagles. Yeah, somebody was talking about the Eagles. I'm surprised they're still touring with Glenn Frey passing.
Do they just get somebody else to take his place?
I don't know. They kind of built their reputation on their harmonies. So I
Oh,
assume
so
they
that
have
would
to
be
get
really
somebody
hard, yeah.
else. Let's see. Teresa Vitrino, didn't Prince come on the scene in the late 70s?
See, I was saying the Prince when you were saying a 3 album.
Oh, I can make that argument too.
Yeah.
You got to do it right around Sign of the Times. I'm trying to remember what the album was right before that. Wasn't it Around the World in a Day? Then
Around the World.
The soundtrack to
Purple.
Under the Cherry Moon, and then Sign of the Times.
I thought you'd go back earlier than that.
No, A Sign of the Times is one of my favorite double albums ever. I think it's great. Um, yeah, Dorothy Lage, yes, the pattern is after my socks.
Yeah, we just laid David's socks down and we drew patterns like random ones. Because I didn't want it to look like a perfect stocking like the ones you see in the store. I imagine what they would look like if they were actually like, in Germany, like, years ago when people were literally hanging their stockings, that their stockings, their socks. And so we made them like really irregular shaped and we used David's socks to help us. I think those are cute, but I think you guys are right. The edges, well, I don't know though. I think if these were like solid wood versus plywood, I would leave the edges, but I'm probably gonna go through and paint those edges. And I could grunge everything up, but I don't think I want to. I think that this paper with the script, everything looks like nice and crisp, which is still really pretty and really neutral, right?
So Susan Steinberg Prentice says Glenn Fry's son is playing with the Eagles and Vince Gill is with them. Oh, I didn't know that. Didn't Vince Gill play with Fleetwood Mac for a little while too?
Are you asking me or are you thinking out loud?
I'm thinking out loud.
Okay.
I may be thinking of somebody else. There was a country singer that stepped in when Lindsey Buckingham stepped out for a little while before he came back. And now Fleetwood Mac's pretty much done. Unless Mick forms another new band, which he could.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can't think of his name, the bassist, John McVie. I don't think he's up for playing anymore. He was dealing with an illness.
Those
Yeah,
toppers
they
don't
love
look
the
good.
clean look. No
Yeah,
grunge.
no grunge, right? But you guys can see how you could use different papers to really create like a totally different vibe. Because if you wanted these to be completely industrial, you could use the corrugated metal with the grunge numbers, maybe with one of the textured papers. So there's a lot of options for mixing and matching the papers to create a set. I think it would be fun to create a set for a stocking for maybe everybody in the family that maybe represents their personality, but still kind of coordinates with the other patterns. I think this is super fun. How should I glue these on, you guys? Should I just use hot glue?
It is 6:30.
Okay.
Paige Comar says, I'm not sure if it'll run. It's the Ranger Distress ink pads.
The Distress ink pads, there it might run. And those are made to kind of reactivate. I mean, I'm not saying it's a flaw, but those are made to reactivate so that when you're using them, they reactivate and add to like the look of the pattern. But you could use a spray fixative too if you wanted to cheat. And I could have painted these first, this fabric first, and then stamped over them. But I think this look is really cool. Let's finish. We never finish a project, baby. We're going to finish together. I'm just going to turn my heat gun on.
All right. Flea
I should
Brown
have
said,
done it.
Ken said that once Christine McVie died, Fleetwood Mac is over. David, you and Ken need to hang out. I agree. I got into a big argument with one of my coworkers in the newsroom that I was working at, and she was the biggest Stevie Nicks fan on the planet. And I was like, no, Fleetwood Mac is Christine McVie. Stevie Nicks stuff is not the best part of Fleetwood Mac. It's Lindsey Buckingham and Christine McVie, and the contrast and the harmonies those two had. So I'm with Ken on that one. And Kathleen Huvis, I'm wondering about gluing the fabric on. Will you need product on the back where it doesn't touch the wood so it won't flop?
I was just going to put a little one bead right here and just put it on there like that. Because it's just going to be hanging, right? I guess you could put another bead on the bottom so it wouldn't flop. But either way.
It's only at the top that it's an issue, right? You don't want it flopping over.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't want it flopping.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think that's a huge issue though.
Michael Campbell played with Fleetwood Mac. Thank you. I knew it was a guy who did a lot of country. I just could not
figure out who it was.
Yeah, I'm not a country guy, so I don't know those artists.
You can even add something additional here, right? That would be super cute if they have a tassel hanging on there. Or even, I had like a...
Fabri-Tac, Sheila Teagan says.
Ooh, yes. Fabri-Tac would actually be perfect. Thank you, Sheila. And I have some here. Somewhere.
Sherry Benart, mix a 50-50 mix with water, clear top coat, spray the distress ink, let it dry, and then you can seal with a coat of top coat. There you go.
There you go.
And Lisa Vansel says if it flaps out, starch it. I guess some spray starch.
Yeah. What do you mean by flaps out?
Well,
I guess...
depends. It depends on where you glue it, because if you're hanging it, if you glued it anywhere but the very top, the top may start to just gravity will pull.
Oh,
part
like
of it down.
pull the top. I was
Yeah.
just gonna put a little bead of hot glue at the top, but Fabri-Tac would be better. But yeah, I know I can't find it right now. It's a clear bottle with the red lid on it, baby. Do you see it? Thank you.
Orange.
The description. Y'all hear him talking about this orange. Does that
That
look
is
red
orange.
or orange? That's red. It's an orangey red. How about that?
All right.
But I gave you such a fabulous description. You found it right away. Oh my goodness. And I have this little one. I made this little guy last year with the molds. And this is just a little, a bell. It's like a jewelry. And so I could hang that. Oh, that would be really pretty with the gold, right? And just a little string right here, just to hang off of there like a little extra. That would be pretty. But you could, zhuzh them up though however you like. I just made basic ones tonight.
We have stopped
We have stopped what?
everything.
Oh. I don't appreciate that. Because I need to show me gluing these on.
Everybody says it's red, by the way. I still say it's orange.
I'm sorry.
Can
babe.
you guys hear us? Oh, we just started back up.
Yeah,
Okay,
I pushed the button again. So.
Rekindled Blessings. I use that glue almost daily. It's red.
Thank you, Kendall.
Susan Steinberg Prentice is with me. That's orange. However,
We'll say it's an orangey red. Because red comes in different tones.
she also said that Michael Campbell isn't country. He played with Tom Petty. Oh, okay. I thought he was a country guy. I could have sworn
red,
Fleetwood Mac brought in a country guy, but
and this
okay.
is red.
I didn't listen to them when they don't have Lindsey Buckingham, so
So you don't know?
Yeah.
So I am using the Fabri-Tac glue.
Eddie Hogan, Flea Brown says red.
And Beth Moore is the one who introduced me to this glue when I went to Carmen's the last time. She got me in trouble with Carmen because we were talking while Carmen was teaching.
How will you hang these? We've had a few people ask that.
So they have a little hole on them, which I'm going to have to punch through. I'll show you guys in just a second. I should have pulled up a picture. There's a little hole right here, pre-drilled in the back, so I'll poke that hole, and then I have, the ones that I have that I'm going to hang on my fireplace, and you guys will see them, they're like wholly industrial, and so I use little pieces of metal to hang them, but you could also use, string to hang them. You could use a big hook to hang them because all you have the hole here, so you can hang them however you'd like, and they're not going to hang straight. Here, let me, they're going to hang kind of tilted a little bit, right? Just like a stocking would hang. And so you can just hang something on this hole and then hang it there. And then I wanted them not to hang like straight up like this, but to be a little tilty. And so that's how we'll hang those.
Kathleen O'Brien Hoovis, my husband confuses red and orange too. No, it's not confusion, it's orange. I don't care what y'all say.
I think it does have a lot of orange in it. Red is a really interesting color. It can have a lot of blue in it, which is probably the color that you're used to associating with being red, specifically.
And Paige Komar asks, have you tried Hearty Soft Clay? It's a game changer. No mess, no crumbs, no issue removing from mold.
No, Hardy like Hardy, Hardy?
Harty, Hearty.
I'm going to look for it.
Like a hearty soup.
And that's it. You guys, I actually finished a project from start to finish in one live. I mean, it's not finished. You guys know. Actually, I'll probably end up putting this thingy and this thingy on one stocking.
And
Super cute, right? And then I'll find some other.
what kind
Or
of
you know
glue
what?
is
I
it?
can make this. This glue was Fabri-Tac.
And you're just on you right now, so.
Oh, I just changed it.
Oh, okay.
I did.
All
I
right.
realized. Should we make us a chingadera? A thingy? What do you call this? Um,
I mentioned
One,
that to Nick.
two,
I had
three.
Nick on my radio show the other day, and we were talking about words and the power of words and
Yep.
how there are some words that we misuse
Mm-hmm.
because of how we grew up, our background, our
Yep.
ethnicities, what's acceptable at home versus what's acceptable somewhere else. I did share that you like a certain word.
I know. I
And
didn't know.
and he
They took
laughed and he
so
goes
long to
and he
tell
goes, that's
me.
because you grew up here.
I know.
And he goes, parents would use that in front of their kids, not thinking twice about it
No.
because it's not cursing, but it is. They just grew up that way, you
I
know.
know.
So we were discussing that. It was a great discussion off air because we were actually using words,
Oh, okay.
so we couldn't do it. Somebody asked, "How do you listen to my show?" I don't know that anybody here would be really interested in listening to my show because it's very local centric. For example, we've got people coming on tomorrow to discuss our harvest, the Oktoberfest and the Harvest Fest tomorrow. But if you want to, it's Gila, Gila, Gila Valley Central .net. So GilaValleyCentral.net, and I put it up as a podcast at about noon. I'm live on the air. We don't stream live, but it goes up about noon on the website.
How come you guys don't stream live? I'm just curious.
Because that station has contracts that require exclusivity.
Mm.
It actually was Rush Limbaugh. So Rush Limbaugh was in so many markets, but Rush Limbaugh used to honor territory.
Okay.
So he said, look, you can't stream because, excuse me, down the road is another station playing yours.
Yeah.
And if you stream, you'll step on them, and that's not fair.
Okay.
So as a station, we couldn't stream. The only thing we can stream is our local sports broadcasts.
But I mean, as long as you're not streaming that specific show.
And Rush has passed away, so that's not an issue at all anymore. But we just don't stream that live. We stream our country station live on the website, which is the more popular show.
Yeah. That's Reed's show.
It is, but it's country music and it's more popular in our area than anything else.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense to stream the one that has more advertisers and the music people want.
I'm attempting to make a quick tassel, y'all. Somebody's looking at me going, "What on earth is she doing?" I'm trying. I've never made a tassel. I've seen other people make them. I'm gonna put some hot glue right there.
You are at 6:40.
Okay. Fine. I'm leaving. My husband's kicking me off, you guys. You heard him. Did we have any more questions before we left, baby?
Yeah, Sue's Thrap. He was very careful to keep radio alive. I got to be honest. I put Limbaugh up there. Again, I'm not talking about the nature of their program, but when you talk about radio pioneers, Limbaugh was one. Howard Stern is one.
Ugh.
You do not have to like him, but you have to acknowledge his genius. Same thing with Limbaugh, his genius. And I would put, who was the guy that had the...
Isn't there a guy in Chicago?
No, well, Steve Dahl inspired Stern, but that's a whole different argument.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. He had the amateur hour. Was it Major Bowes? Amateur hour? Was that on radio, or am I thinking of somebody different? I think I'm thinking of Arthur Godfrey. Arthur Godfrey used to have a radio show, and he would do amateur hour. I believe it was amateur. That's where and Margaret got discovered.
Oh.
And I got to put them up on the Mount Rushmore of radio. Not because of their content, but because of what they did
For radio.
for radio. I mean, all of those people changed the industry.
I'm just poking a hole through my fabric, you guys, or several holes. I probably should have poked a hole. If you guys do this, be smart and poke a hole in your fabric before you start. Don't do what Royce just did. Because now I got to try to get a hole to go through here big enough for a string to go through.
Yeah, Flea Brown, you said that word again. Ken and I laughed out loud.
I know. I try so hard. Anyways, I'm going to work on this and I will post a picture of them hanging in Purdy. Because I think I want to hang. Wouldn't that be cute on there? Just a little
And this
something
is the
on
new
there.
paper that's available right now?
Yeah, so this one, yes, the Neutral Christmas, there's a masterboard and there's a project block. And so this one is available right now. Your retailers should have them in stock. I forgot to say, if we have retailers who are on tonight, please put your links up so customers can find you. But yes, this paper is available. And this one is kind of an old standard, the ephemeral collage. I love it because it can be a background for so many different designs. And I think that's all I have tonight. I did pretty good. We only had to mute me, 5 times?
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad.
Muted me a couple times too.
I know. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate you guys coming with us every Sunday. Remember that you guys can still participate in the Royce Cycle Decoupage Masterclass. The registration will be open until Thursday. If you have signed up for the masterclass and you have not received an email, please double check and make sure that you have opted in to receive emails. We cannot email you without your permission. So you have to opt in order to get the emails, because at this point we've sent out about 7. And if you're in the group waiting, you'll probably be let in tomorrow on Monday, because Brenda doesn't work on the weekends because she has littles. So she only works during the weekdays. But unless you had anything else, babe, that you can think of. And you guys, if you guys would like to come and hang out with me, maybe just pencil in your calendar for the last week of April, and we'll have more information as we move forward. And I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. Have a